If you run a single WordPress site, standard low-cost shared hosting is usually all you are ever going to need. Standard hosting models work by stacking. To keep costs down, providers place hundreds of different domains onto a single identical IP address. But when you manage a roster of client sites or a network of authority blogs, that shared infrastructure becomes a massive liability. The moment your portfolio grows past one domain, the hidden connections between your sites become visible. Our goal today is to break down what IP-diverse SEO hosting actually changes, the specific costs involved, and who truly needs to move their sites to a more isolated architecture. In 2026, your technical footprint acts as the first layer of credibility. If the infrastructure signal is compromised, even the best content can struggle to find its audience. The bad neighbor effect happens when crawlers detect independent sites sharing an IP. If one is flagged for malware, it contaminates the shared IP, which suppresses the rankings of your innocent sites. SEO hosting prevents this by giving each domain a dedicated Class C IP. Relying on standard shared hosting means you are tying your reputation to the security and behavior of every other stranger on your server. By separating domains at the structural level, SEO hosting removes the shared server footprint that common hosting creates by default. You also use private name servers. Setting up unique NS1 and NS2 addresses for each domain removes the shared DNS signature before a search crawler even looks at your IP. Most multi-site operators start with Class C IP diversity. This is where the third octet of the IP differs, providing standard infrastructure separation for a monthly cost of about $5.75 per IP. When the third octets differ, search engines view those domains as separate properties. This allows links between them to register as an organic third-party endorsement rather than a self-referential pattern. It's a higher monthly overhead than basic hosting, but it removes the risk of one client site's penalty affecting your entire roster. For the highest level of separation, you move to Class A IP addresses. Here, the very first octet differs, reflecting a monthly cost of $7 to $10 per address. Differing first octets signal that the sites are hosted on networks that are geographically and organizationally distinct at the broadest possible level. Class A IPs aren't designed to be used for every site in a large network. Instead, you reserve them for high-stakes authority sites where you need the cleanest possible link signals. Buying IP diversity is a way to treat each domain as its own standalone fortress, disconnected from any shared infrastructure footprint. For businesses targeting international audiences, server IP geolocation is a meaningful relevant signal. Google uses server location to help determine geographic relevance. If you're targeting European users, but your site is hosted on a North American IP, you are working against a geographic disadvantage. Using an EU-based IP pool within an SEO hosting account allows you to place your site's physical signal within the region you're actually targeting. Combining a country code TLD, like .de or .se, with a localized EU Class C IP creates the strongest available signal of geographic relevance. Aligning your server IP location with your audience provides a consistent structural layer for any international SEO strategy in 2026. To find the right fit, look at this decision matrix. The choice depends on operational scale. If you manage just one site, standard WordPress hosting is your best financial choice. But if you manage 20 or more client sites, isolation is the primary goal. Upgrading to a 50 IP Class C block acts as a protective measure against client liability and network contamination. The same applies if you're building themed sites for topical authority. Unique IPs help minimize the footprint that connects those sites. This prevents AI-driven search evaluations from discounting your links based on shared infrastructure. SEO hosting won't make poor content rank, but it ensures your infrastructure doesn't undermine the authority you're working to build. The investment in SEO hosting is only effective if your initial setup is technically sound. Before going live, check your IP manager. You must verify that absolutely no two domains in your network are sharing an IP address. Finally, perform an independent DNS lookup for each site. Confirm that every domain resolves to its unique Class C IP and uses its own private name server. This technical diligence is the required upfront work to verify your isolation and help safeguard your network from footprint detection. Getting the infrastructure right is the invisible foundation that allows your visible SEO strategy to perform at its full potential.